Project Metalbeast. With a title like that, this movie had better deliver. Released straight to video in 1995, this modest mid-budget effort opens up with a badass soldier called Donald Butler, investigating a spooky castle and holy shit, a fucking werewolf! But this overgrown furball is no match for our man Donald Butler, who pumps him full of lead. Sorry, pumps him full of silver bullets. Pumps this poor fucker full of them too, sheesh. Turns out Butler's involved in a plan by a shady military colonel to create a race of unstoppable super soldiers by injecting them with werewolf blood. But this has the unforeseen consequence of turning Butler into an uncontrollable werewolf. Why that was unforeseen, I don't know. Butler rapes the hematologist looking after the blood, cause even werewolves can't resist good pussy. He kills another scientist before Colonel Miller here takes him down with even more silver bullets. 20 years later, in the futuristic year of 1994. Okay, so the opening scene was actually set in 1974, so now we're in present day, I guess. Scientists at the same facility are researching using metal alloy to create artificial skin, which could help those in need of skin replacements, such as burn victims. Colonel Miller offers them a cadaver to experiment on, that of Butler, who's been kept on ice for the last 2 decades. Our motley crew of science geeks are Anna, played by Kim Delaney, Roger, who always loses.
Roger always loses.
I do not. I'm playing pool.
Larry, played by Lance Slaughter. I'd have thought a guy called Lance Slaughter would have looked a lot cooler than this. Debbie, played by Musetta Vander, who was Sindel in Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Too bad you will die.
And Philip, played by Dean Schofield. Schofield's best known for voicing Johnny Sasaki in the Metal Gear Solid games. Hey, maybe the Metalbeast should be in a future Metal Gear game. Meanwhile, Colonel Miller is played by Barry Bostwick of Rocky Horror Picture Show fame. The gang performed their first surgery on Butler's corpse, infusing his skin with the metal alloy, and also removing the silver bullets. Big mistake, because as everyone knows, if you take the silver bullets out of a dead werewolf, it comes back to life. Actually, does everyone know that? Is that an accepted part of werewolf lore? Anyway, now they have a reanimated werewolf running around loose in the facility, and even worse, his skin is now covered in metal, turning him into a cyborg and rendering him nigh indestructible. He kills poor Larry. And a security guard. But quickly gets recaptured with fire extinguishers. Well, that was easy and underwhelming. However, he soon escapes again, killing Roger in the process. Remember, Roger always loses.
I do not. I'm playing pool.
The Metalbeast looks fucking ridiculous. Less like a cyborg monster and more like they just set the werewolf suit on fire and burned it. The effects team was led by veteran John Carl Buechler, director and chief effects artist on Friday the 13th Part 7, where he designed Jason's most iconic and definitive look. Speaking of, the Metalbeast himself is played by Jason himself, Kane Hodder, in his first appearance as a cryogenically frozen monster that later gets a metallic upgrade. The last act of the movie sees our intrepid heroes locking the facility down to prevent the Metalbeast from escaping. Since they can't just shoot it with silver bullets, they have to take it to the next level. Silver rockets. Unfortunately, Anna's aim is fucking terrible and she ends up knocking Debbie out. Stupid bitch. Though this part where she has to pull a metal pole out of her foot is pretty gnarly. Meanwhile, Colonel Miller is trying to cover things up by shooting Hunky Phillip in the shoulder. Why not just shoot him in the face? Stupid bastard! So in the end, Miller was trying to control the Metalbeast, and he'd intentionally used Butler's corpse for the experiment so as to create the ultimate killing machine. But like, if the trials were successful and they created a metal that could replace skin, Wouldn't have that have been enough? I mean, surely that has military applications out the ass in its own right. If your soldiers had skin made of metal, aren't they indestructible anyway? Having them also turn into out-of-control werewolves just seems like a really bad idea. Really didn't think this one through, did you, mate? Well, get fucked! Then they blow the Metalbeast up. Just like that. There's no real tension in this scene. Just point and shoot. Bye bye beastie. But we all know you can't keep a good man like Donald Butler down, as the ending teases a sequel that will never be made. Project Metalbeast, also known as Project Metalbeast DNA Overload, is an okay movie. It chugs along at a decent pace, has a likeable enough main cast, and some fun gore effects. But there's just so much more they could have done with this concept. I mean, a werewolf made out of indestructible metal? But the Metalbeast itself spends most of the movie tied down to a surgical table. So it being indestructible doesn't really mean anything since no one's actively trying to destroy it. It's not until the final half hour of the movie that it goes on a rampage. And at that point, well, it only takes 30 minutes for the heroes to find a way to destroy it.
We're wasting time.
The movie could well have starred a normal werewolf and it would be pretty much the exact same. An alright flick that could have been a lot more.